Did that hurt?
You know what? I'm not going to pretend like it didn't.
You know, making films like this, do people get hurt on set?
You know, thankfully they don't. They get pretend hurt like I just did.
That's a really good pretending job.
Thank you.
Isn't this all pretend, and isn't it, how fun is that?
No, literally, it makes sense. All I did was run around and play pretend as a kid, and now I got paid. I tricked people into paying me to play pretend. That's it.
But watching this whole movie, it's a lot of fun. Every scene is fun.
Yeah, thank you. I like to jam them really tight, you know? I like a really short runtime. There was an SNL skit recently about loving a short-ass movie. That's my life. I love it. I love really quick, condensed little thrillers, and that was kind of the thought here.
What movies had made you think of scenes to make them kind of different and not be like other movies?
You know, really, I read a lot of old paperback horror novels, and I dig through. I love old Western paperbacks, old horror paperbacks, and I'll be reading those, and I'll be like, I have never seen something like that in a movie. No one's ever thought to try this or that. So I go digging around through that. I also love watching really old exploitation movies and old drive-in movies, and sort of thinking, oh wow, no one's done that in 40 years, you know? And sort of taking that, and that's kind of how I like to keep things fresh, is borrowing from the past, you know?
You know what's also fresh about your stuff? Camera angles and the way the attack scenes go, I thought were really fresh. Who was your cinematographer, and how did you guys work that out?
I was my cinematographer.
Oh, you were the one.
I was my cinematographer. So about half the time I work with a DP. When you're doing indie movies, you really got to be careful about where you put your money. I started in shooting music videos and shooting wedding videos, and so sometimes, like a movie like this where we're running around all over the place and shooting guerrilla and shooting in tiny spaces, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and shoot it myself. And what's really fun about that is we shoot really compacted, so I'm able to get in there with the actors and almost fight with them. And when we choreograph these fights, I get in there with the camera with them, and that's kind of how we make them really aggressive and tightly shot.
Kind of James Cameron style.
A little bit. He's much smarter than I am, but you know.
He is. No, because he's a master.
He's the master.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Just today, I went to some PR firm where they did all of the publicity for the Avatar movies, and I got to see photos and hear conversations about him and see his autograph, and I was like, he's an idol for sure. He's incredible.
Have you been to Lightstorm?
No, I haven't.
I've been there. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
It's really cool.
I imagine it's amazing.
Go over there in Manhattan Beach. It's a badass
Oh my
studio.
gosh, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
When you get to my level, you'll...
One day.
Okay. There's an Oscar in there too, and a Titanic, and Terminator, and all kinds of stuff in there.
I believe it. I mean, we were just looking up on the way here. Titanic had the record for the longest time for the most Oscars. I think Return of the King tied it or beat it out. I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so Kale's right behind you. So why'd you pick Kale?
I met Kale on a movie I did called Curse of the Nun, one of my horror movies, and he's really good at playing an asshole. The funny thing is, he's not an asshole, but he's really good at doing it. And I had this role, and I was trying to think who could give me the sensitivity of this character that you need to connect with the lead, but also give me that edge. And I was like, oh my gosh, Kale would be perfect. And so I called him up, and we hadn't worked together in a while. We did a movie called The Octa Games together. But I called him up, and I was like, do you want to do the lead? You know, I trusted him at that point. I didn't need to see him tape or anything. And yeah, he's a good friend, and we're doing another movie together literally right now. I shot 2 days before I came to LA. I'm shooting 8 more days when I get home. So
isn't it funny when you got someone that does something so good that they're not even an asshole, and he's such a good asshole?
No, I know. It's funny. He's a comedic villain in my next movie, so he's a funny asshole next time.
That's cool. I came here because I love everything about your film.
Thanks.
Title, everything, so great job.
Right on, man. Thank you.